If you want to get 10,000 steps into your day and speed up your metabolism, listen up. In this video, you will discover the power of walking for weight loss and how it can speed up your metabolism, whatever your weight. And if you stay to the end, I will even tell you how to calculate how many calories you burn walking 10,000 steps, and also what to do if you don't have an activity tracker or fitness watch like me. I'm Harry, and I'm an emotional eating and weight loss coach and also ACT therapist. And if you're watching this video, I am guessing that you are on a weight loss journey. The principle of weight loss is quite simple. It's all about balancing calories in and calories out. So when you have more calories going out than into your body, there is an imbalance, and the energy needs to come from somewhere, so it digs into your fat stores and so you lose weight. When we think about calorie burning, a lot of people think about formal exercise, going to the gym or going for a run or something. But at most, this is going to be an hour in your day, and it takes a lot of effort and also recovery time as well. What about those other 23 hours in your day? Of course, some of them are going to be sleeping, but there's a lot of hours where you're not going to be exercising, and also the days where you are not exercising as well. What happens in that time? And this is where your daily movement comes in. So your daily movement contributes quite a lot to your calorie burn over the day, a lot more than people think. Yes, you will be burning fewer calories per minute than in a exercise session where you're pushing yourself, but because you're doing it for longer, you often end up burning a similar amount over your day through your daily movement and walking to if you'd gone to the gym and done a HIIT session or something high intensity, or gone for a run or something outside. I myself love going for a walk, and every morning when I get out of bed, the first thing I do is go for a 10-minute walk just to get my body moving and get some initial steps into my day. But before I go on, why is walking so good for you? There are loads of reasons, but some of them are: it reduces the risk of heart disease and stroke. It improves joint and bone health, it improves mental health, it helps digestion, it improves blood sugar control, and of course, it burns calories and helps towards weight loss. The 10,000 step number is thrown around a lot, and we often hear it. But where did that actually come from? It's actually a made-up target. There's no real research that says 10,000 is a special number. However, it is special in Japan, where their symbol for 10,000 actually looks like a person walking. And that's where it came from. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't do 10,000 steps. Of course, the more steps you do in your day, the more calories you're going to burn. When we look at the research, we already see at the 5,000 steps level, health risks going down. So this study showed that doing at least 5,000 steps reduced risk of death. So a huge benefit for living longer with doing more steps and activity in your day. And because of all this focus on steps and also the ease of doing walking compared to other activities like running, I often get the question, how many calories do I burn walking 10,000 steps? So if you want to find out, watch on. And first of all, this is not an easy question to answer because it depends specifically on the person. It depends on your weight, the speed of walking, your stride length, the elevation, whether it's up or down, and a few other factors. But let's have a go at working it out for you. So we're going to be using this equation, which you can see on the screen now. So the first number is your weight, and we need the weight in kilograms. So if you know your weight in pounds, just divide that by 2.2 and you'll get the kilogram number. So the next number you need is an activity factor, and this is a scientifically worked out number around the activity you're doing and how intense the activity is. So you can see on screen now some activity factors and the walking speeds that correlate to them. And then to finish the equation off, you multiply by 3.5 and divide by 200. I'm not going to go into these numbers, but just take them as they are. They're always the same. And the result you get is the amount of calories you burn per minute for that activity. So let's now work this out for myself, walking 3 miles per hour on a flat surface. I weigh 70 kilograms. The activity factor for 3 mile per hour walking is 3.5. So let's plug those numbers in. And then remember, we multiply that by 3.5 as well and divide by 200. That gives 4.2 calories per minute for me walking 3 miles per hour on a flat surface. So let's then say I walk for an hour. So that's 4.2 multiplied by 60 minutes. That gives 252 calories that are burned in that time. Now, we don't want to know how many calories are burnt in an hour. We want to know how many calories are burnt walking 10,000 steps, right? This is where we have to use some rough numbers and estimates. So for the average person, 10,000 steps is around 5 miles, okay? If you want to work it out perfectly, you need to know your stride length. You can check some tables on the internet if you want to get a more accurate number, but 5 miles is roughly 10,000 steps. So if I am walking 3 miles per hour and I would like to know how long it would take to walk 5 miles, I divide 5 by 3, and that gives 1.6. So all I need to do then is multiply my calories per hour by 1.6, right? Because in an hour, I'm walking 3 miles, but I want to know how long it would be for 5 miles or equivalent to 10,000 steps. So that previous number that I worked out, walking 3 miles in an hour, the 252 calories, I then multiply by 1.6. And the answer I get is 403 calories. So for me, walking 10,000 steps, I roughly burn 400 calories. Stop the video, take a second to work out how many calories you are burning and let me know in the comments below. To recap, you take your weight in kilograms, multiplied by the activity factor, which I'll show on the screen again, then multiply that by 3.5, divide by 200. That gives you per minute how many calories you are burning. And then multiply that by 60 to get per hour. So then you know per hour. And then you want to know how long it's taking you to walk 5 miles. So divide 5 by the speed you are walking. For me, it was 3 miles per hour. And then you have that factor. Mine was 1.6. So then you can multiply your final calories per hour by 1.6 to get the total you burn walking 10,000 steps. Again, stop the video, let me know what you got below. Super interested to find out how many you are burning. And if you need some help, feel free to ask as well and I'll work out with your numbers for you. Now, if you don't like calculating things and you found that a bit much, we can super simplify this and just generalize it a little bit more. For most people, you're going to be burning between 30 and 50 calories per 1,000 steps that you walk. On screen now, you can see the numbers. If you weigh 50 kilograms, you're going to be burning around 300 calories per 10,000 steps. If you weigh 60 kilograms, you're going to be burning around 350 calories per 10,000 steps. If you weigh 70 kilograms, you're going to be burning around 400 calories per 10,000 steps. If you weigh 80 kilograms, you're going to be burning around 450 calories per 10,000 steps. If you want to know that in pounds, multiplied by 2.2, the kilogram number. And because we know it's 30 to 50 calories per 1,000 steps, if you do less than 10,000, you work it out as well. So let's say you weigh 70 kilograms, that is going to be 40 calories per 1,000 steps. And then let's say you do 7,000 steps in your day, you multiply 40 by 7 instead of 10 for 10,000. So that would be 280 calories for your 7,000 steps. So you can work it out specifically for how many you're doing in the day. Now let's quickly pause the video. Before I go on, if you've enjoyed this video and found it useful, please subscribe below. Not only will you see more of my content, but you're helping other people see it as well. Now, if you want to lose as much weight as possible and get the best long-term results, listen up and continue watching the video. The mindset you have around this is super, super important. You cannot think about burning calories to earn food and thinking about walking as something you have to do to earn your calories. This is a really negative mindset to have and does not help. Think about it like this. Your body needs a certain amount of calories every day to function. If you don't consume enough for your body to function, it still needs them, so it takes them from body fat and then you lose weight. The more you move, the more calories you need to function. So focus on just building a certain amount of steps into your day every day consistently, and you'll find it easier to lose weight because your body ends up needing more calories, and that means you can eat more food, enjoy more food, feel fuller, and be more consistent on your diet. To illustrate this, let's pop over to my kitchen. Right, so I'm gonna make it as simple as possible, okay? So imagine this is how many calories you need per day in this glass. This is you, this is your body, this is your, let's say, fuel tank. So I'll fill this up with water. So if we hit exactly the amount that we need either gain or lose weight. If we want to lose weight, we have to be below this level. Now we could do that by eating less, but that's not so nice. That's a lot harder. We could increase the amount of energy you need by doing more steps in the day. That's like having a bigger fuel tank. So if we take the same amount of calories, there's now this gap. As I said before, if you don't hit the amount of calories you need, they need to come from somewhere. So where do they come from? They come from body fat to get it to this level and you lose weight. That's as simple as it is. So doing more steps increases the size of your fuel tank or the amount of calories you need per day. And we're back. Do you want ideas to be able to get more steps into your day? Of course you do, right? So what, John? Number one, go for a quick walk in the morning, like me, and maybe several times throughout the day. Always take a longer route if possible. We always think about being more efficient, but with steps, we will actually want to be less efficient. Take the longer route. Walk one way for a certain amount of time, so let's say 15 minutes. When you hit that 15 minutes, turn around and come back. But it feels different then because you're kind of like on the mission home. It's not like you are walking aimlessly. Trust me on that, it feels very different. Next, go for a walk with a friend. Have a conversation. The time really flies with this. Next one, don't make the walk the focus. Go out and put your headphones in. Maybe call someone, put a podcast or audiobook on, or listen to some music. So instead of focusing on the actual walk, which some people don't enjoy doing, distract yourself with listening to something or talking to somebody. It really makes a difference. And finally, it's not just walking that counts, it's all movement. So maybe start a new active hobby like dancing or photography, where you're moving around and you're actually thinking about the steps, you're thinking about the activity. This really makes a big difference. What's your favorite way to get steps into your day? Let me know below. And as I promised in the beginning, if you don't have a fitness watch like me that counts steps, then how do you do this? Instead of thinking about steps, think about time, blocks of time. So maybe in the morning, go for a 10-minute walk and scatter these throughout your day. So for example, it could be 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes before lunch, and then 10 minutes in the afternoon. That way you've got 30 minutes of walking in your day. You haven't counted the steps, but you've counted the time instead and made it consistent. Now you can monitor this, and if you don't feel it's enough, then you can maybe add another 5 minutes in and then assess and adjust your results based on that. Now, before I go, if you have struggled with your weight, emotional eating, and yo-yo dieting for years, this is what I help people with. This is what I live for. I have created an emotional eating survey so you can assess your score. Just take it below. I've put the link there. It's free. It takes 30 seconds and you'll get an email explaining what your score means and some next steps to take. And I think this video might be useful for you next.